Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our wonderful session. And this Sunday's topic is something so relevant that each one of us would be getting into that state multiple times in a day. When we get drowned into the low vibration, it's with the as simple as that, getting angry at home on a domestic help to losing your temper on children or a bigger issues in life, and we think all the suffering is meant only for us, and we forget that joy, suffering, light, dark, left and right, also everything exists in togetherness. If there is no suffering, there cannot be joy and happiness, and we are joy, our natural state, we are peace, our natural state, as we already have been, you know learning, practicing from our angel guide Sujata Didi. And yes, today what we are learning is how do we pull ourselves out of the low vibrations when we are maybe getting into that stream and a whirlwind of storm, and pull ourselves out to vibrate at a higher level and a higher frequency with that awareness. Didi, I think we really need that guidance as a bell every hour, how to pull ourselves out of that, lower zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And actually, what I mentioned today and how I just sprung upon this topic in the morning was that, like it's so lovely in the morning. I have these beautiful jasmine, mogra plants outside my balcony, outside my bedroom in the balcony. And the moment I open the door in the morning, just open the sliding, there's this whole beautiful smell that, comes in. And it's like you don't need anything else. That's so much joy, that's so much joy. It's just so beautiful. And then, just taking them out.
Hi,
And
Sujata.
hello, Auntie. So good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, very good. And I'm so happy to see you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Very good, very good. You're such a deep part of this Reiki group and Reiki talks that I'm so happy that you're here. You're such an inspiration, Auntie. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
for giving us a link.
Always. I'm always linked. We are always linked. We are never de-linked. So just thank you for your presence and your blessings. And, it means so much to have you here on this group.
I'm so happy to be part of you.
And we are so happy to have you, Auntie. It's just so, so lovely. So we're talking about joy. Now see what a big joy to see Devinder Auntie back here on this screen. And she's like such a, like just look at her. There is so much joy and so much that we need to learn and inspire from her. So basically, I was just saying that, we don't really need to have particular things to make us joyous, because those things are very, very temporary. And that's what I really thought in the morning, that we keep waiting, we keep postponing things in life because we feel when something happens, then we'll be joyous, So we get into a mode of like a waiting mode, that when I accomplish this, or when I travel, or when, I get my result, when I get married, all these kind of things. So in a way, we begin to postpone life and we actually disconnect from the joy. So what I have learned through these past years and in my spiritual journey is that actually we are all joy. Actually, we are all just this joy, that it's our basic nature to be joyous. Like you look at a small child, a newborn baby, so joyous, so happy. When he or she needs something, they cry, they reach out, they need to be fed, they need to be changed. And then they go back to their simple, joyous nature. As we grow, as the mind develops, as we start thinking, analyzing, rationalizing, judging, perceiving, believing, that's where the joy gets disconnected, isn't it? If otherwise, what is it that we need to be joyous? We don't need anything, because our intricate nature is to be that joyous, so-called joyous person, isn't it? And we always like keep thinking that we have to achieve certain things, or something has to be done to give us joy. There has to be some milestone that has to be accomplished, or there has to be some event that has to happen, and then I will be joyous. That is the biggest perception that we have. It's an illusion. Because as soon as what we are wanting to accomplish gets accomplished, then we have the next thing. And we have the next thing. So till when will we go on and on and on wanting to accomplish something to make us joyous? It's like an endless, bottomless pit, if I may say. And we actually lose out on our entire life thinking that, I will be joyous when this happens or when I accomplish this. And then we live through various other lifetimes, we continue in that way to accomplish and reach certain goals to be joyous. And we don't have to do anything to be joyous because that joy is already there. It is already present with us. We just have to reconnect back, realign ourselves. Something as beautiful as, the smell of beautiful flowers in your balcony, or the sight of, some lovely clouds or the sky or the tree. Isn't it that we forget everything? Or somebody who sings, just the moment they're in that thing, or you're connected to nature, you dissolve everything. And there you are in full joy. When we do a Reiki session, when we meditate, just in those 15-20 minutes, you come into a state of immense bliss. And whatever may be the, the whole, say, Pandora box of your issues, problems, struggles, challenges, they still exist. But you can still connect to the joy that you are, because the joy is always, always there. It's only that we get disconnected and we feel that there's no more joy in our life, or we have to do something, to be joyous. So whenever we are feeling a sense of discomfort, whenever we are feeling that I'm just not liking the way I'm feeling, don't try to resist it in that way to make or fix things to give you or get you back to your joyous nature. Just come to that joyous nature, and the other things will automatically, whatever needs to be fixed will automatically get fixed. But we always try to move in the other direction, that first I have to be happy, first I have to be joyous, and then my life will become okay. Then I'll be able to really live my life joyfully, live my life peacefully. But that's not true. That's really not true. So just shift that whole thing around and try to find joy in whatever you're doing, whatever is happening around. And believe me, if you make an effort, you will see in every breath there is something that you can be joyous about. But you just have to literally slightly shift that lens with which we are looking at what is happening in life. Sometimes you're just wearing those lenses and suddenly it's very clear, or suddenly it's blurred when you're getting an eye checkup or you're getting your glasses made. So it's just that slight shift and you can see the whole thing absolutely clearly. Otherwise, it all seems very, very blurred, isn't it? So I always try to emphasize on these sessions that let's not waste life. Let's not postpone joy. Let's not, just allow the days and the weeks and the months and the years to pass on like that. Whatever it is, whatever are the challenges that each one of us is going through, it's fine, but we can still be joyous, because that's who we naturally are. And it's not difficult. Our mind will come in and say, but how can you be joyous? You're going through an illness. How can you be joyous? You've just been, thrown out of a job. How can you be joyous? Your child is not behaving in the way that he or she is meant to, or they're so rebellious. But that's life happening, and that will go on happening. Each one of us here can tell us at least 1,000 things that they are troubled with at this point, isn't it? But I would say multiply that to the power of infinity, and you can find the number of things that you can point to for being joyous, for being in gratitude.
Gratitude and joy, I think they are so simultaneously related. The moment we start feeling gratitude, like you always tell us that, the morning should be all about gratitude, your journal, right from the bed where you are sleeping to the pillow to the fan. And one gets into that mode. No, I'm seriously, I'm just talking with my own experience, rather than looking at how the day and what the day will bring to us. And I think that shift right in the morning really helps us with that joy, which is so within us, everything.
And see, like I give you that example, all of you who've done Reiki with me have heard this example hundreds of times, right? So you like your cup of tea, and we most of the time drink it in such an unconscious way. Somebody serves you tea, you drink it, And I ask that, so how many people do you think that we can be in gratitude for this cup of tea that I have got? It probably will say the person who served it or who made it, or, the gas, the water, the tea, and you stop at that. But if you just keep going back and back and back, there can be more than thousands of people who've gone, their efforts have gone in to get you that cup of tea. We start with the tea leaves, the people who planted it, who, manured it, grew it, plucked it, dried it, brewed it, packaged it, and then sort of segregated it. And then the whole transporters, the packaging, who delivered it to the wholesaler, to the retailer, and ultimately to your house. Then you have the whole story about the milk, the milkman, the cow. Endlessly you can go on. The sugar cane, the ginger, the masala, whatever you're putting, the pot, the cup that you drank in, the potter's wheel that made that cup, the people who transported the gas, the water cycle, the sun, the moon. So everything, you can go on endlessly for that one cup of tea, isn't it? And we usually just sometimes so unconsciously drink that cup of tea, and we even say, "Aaj to chai achhi nahi thi." We just say that, and that feeling it wasn't good, in a way blocks our joy. But if we just think for a moment and say, oh wow, just see how many people's efforts, and I'm sitting here comfortably in my bed and I'm served the tea. I mean, wow, isn't that joy? Isn't that joy? So we have to shift that whole, the way we look at things, and we can find joy in all the things that we are going through in life. There's so much that we can be joyous about. Joy just doesn't mean that, you have to be going out, you have to be celebrating, you have to be dancing, you have to be partying. That is not real joy. That's a very superficial joy. You might be crying from inside, but outside it may look that you're very, very joyous. You are participating in something, but internally your heart is crying. That is not joy, isn't it? Joy is when you could be just sitting silently, like I said, just sitting silently, meditating, feeling that alignment and connection and oneness with everything, whether it is the trees, whether it is the plants, whether it is all the people around you. And actually, when you're in that stillness, in that space of oneness, everything else dissolves. Everything else dissolves. And you actually feel that joy. Nobody can really explain it, but you actually feel that joy. You just feel that you're in the perfect place. It's like how you feel that you've just put all the jigsaw puzzles and you feel very complete. You don't need somebody to give you joy. Yes, it's always nice to receive things and, receive joy in terms of your relationships and whatever you're doing, but that's not necessary. It is just not necessary that those are the means to give you joy. This life has been given for joy. This life is joy. You are joy. You have to just reconnect to your basic nature and live with joy. And I don't mean that when I say you live with joy, that all the time you have to be bubbly and dancing and this. You could be feeling low. You could be feeling, not very excited on a particular day, or not very harmonious with everything that is happening. And that's fine. Why are we wanting to resist that? It's just like today's a cloudy day, tomorrow's a sunny day. You can't resist it. If it's going to rain, it's going to rain. You can make a choice to either crib that I had to go out and it's raining and keep complaining, or you can be joyous by picking up a book and saying, wow, I've got this day to read my favorite book, and, settle in and have your favorite snack with your book and enjoy that rain. Because you cannot change the situation or the circumstances outside. You have no control over them. But to be joyous, to choose to be living with joy is your choice. And you can definitely do it. You can definitely do it. Even if you are in any kind of a toxic environment, maybe there's a lot of competition in your office, or there's a lot of challenges that you face in your home. I'm not denying that, we could be having such kind of setups all around us. But that doesn't mean that in any which way our joy can be disrupted. No way can it be disrupted. Anybody has any thoughts, any views, please share. Let's make this as interactive as we can.
Sujata, I just wanted to say,
Yes,
when you
Rachita.
when you just said, how everything dissolves once
Yeah.
you get into that. And it always reminds me, I mean, I have a lot of pains and aches which are not, I mean, like, I'm not able to do anything about them. The doctors don't seem to understand what's going on. But I
Mm,
still look forward to my early morning walk. I
mm,
just have to, I push myself in the morning and then I'm so happy when I'm
mm.
there. It's really the highlight of my day.
Yeah.
I enjoy being with nature. I
Yeah.
enjoy every reflection that comes through when I watch the clouds, the trees, the plants. And of course, I love singing. So I sing,
Yeah.
and that's
And then you
really
share
fun.
joy with us through your messages, through your beautiful messages. You share that joy with us. And how by spreading joy, it really expands, it multiplies.
It really expands, yes, because I
Yeah.
bring it home. The same thing, I could come home and say, oh my God, yahan bhi dard hai, wahan bhi dard hai. But then instead, I try and come back with this feeling of those beauty, of nature that I've seen, share it
Absolutely.
with my husband, share it with my
Absolutely.
health, and the
Absolutely.
day continues.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
you see,
so
when you
grateful.
when you feel that and when you share that, because that's so infectious, one cannot escape it. It is so infectious that you, when you come or when you sing or when you just share those beautiful messages, it just lifts up the entire energy. And somebody who may be feeling low suddenly brightens up, right? Because
It's a
that brightness is there within you. You don't have to look outside for that brightness. You just remove that fog or that layer of dust from the joy window, and there you start feeling it instantly.
He's so
so right,
forward to your
so right.
messages, Najee, in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, sorry.
No, I was saying we look forward to your messages in the morning. You brighten up so many people in the group.
Oh, thank you so much. It gives me so much pleasure too.
Exactly, exactly. So spreading that joy gives so much pleasure. Giving gives so much joy, isn't it? Isn't it? Because it's something which is,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's something so natural. It's so infectious. I always like to use this word, that it is so infectious. It's just like when you go in the morning and you see, sometimes these people laughing in the garden and all doing the yoga. You can't help but laugh, isn't it? It's so infectious. It's nothing but spreading that joy. And there's nothing that they're laughing or at. It's not that some joke has been cracked or, something. It's just that they're opening up and connecting to that emotion which is also existing within us. And that helps you to just expand and spread that joy to each other. It's like when we look at a beautiful flower, when you see a beautiful flower blooming up, and maybe it doesn't even have a fragrance, but just the beautiful color, just the whole, like we were talking about nature, we just cannot, it's endless to even think of, just pick up any one flower and see the beautiful way in which it has been created by the universe. Humans cannot do it. We can only, it's like very mechanical that we do, isn't it? Whatever might be happening with all these genetically modified stuff and all that, definitely there's a lot that is being created. But what is natural is so natural. So when you feel low, when you feel that there's no hope ahead and there's nothing that I can do, and if you just disconnect from that joy and you just be in that low phase, definitely you're going to fall into a depressive phase, isn't it? What are we trying to heal when we are so-called healing depression? We're just trying to bring in some joy into the person's life, isn't it? If a depressed person laughs or smiles, you feel, wow, he's getting better, isn't it? So don't allow yourself to slip into those phases, because there's so much that can give you joy. Just open up. What I want to really say is open up and widen your perspective and look at things with, all the blessings that you have. And the moment you start focusing on the positive, on the joyous things, instantly you'll feel that there is positivity in other aspects too. Don't hold on to that one or two things which make you miserable. Just like Sulakshana so beautifully described, she has these aches and pains in her body which limit her in so many ways, but she breaks through those limitations and she pushes herself out. And once you're connected to nature, you're connected to natural things, invariably it's going to dissolve. You will not feel the pain. Yes, you come back. That doesn't mean the pain has gone. But the vibration of this joy, of this, is so high and so beautiful that it just dissolves the pain bodies. It's like when you switch on the light, the darkness has to go. You cannot be in darkness. So whatever it is that you feel like, you feel like what calls you, what you enjoy, whether it is painting, dancing, music, any forms of creativity. And it doesn't have to be like just creative. Some people just like to read. Some people like, as a child, when I was growing up, not a child, when I was studying, I loved to solve mathematical problems. Maths was my joy. Maths was really my joy, to solve those algebraic problems. And the moment you got the answer, it was like, wow, the left hand side equal to the right hand side. Done. It used to be. So anything what you really enjoy, and actually where you're not really focused with your mind and you're not trying to analyze and cut through those things, it just flows through you. There's that whole harmony. There is that whole energy flow is just joyous, isn't it? Sometimes we choose these things specifically. Oh, so there is a party, we have to dance, it gives us so much joy to do all these things, isn't it? To perform, to dance, or to do something. It's just that you can do that in a very natural way rather than even, making it so structured. Or listen to music. Sometimes you just dissolve in it. And like Sulakshana sings, it's so beautiful. Whom is she singing to? Really nobody. Just becoming one with nature. It's just like the birds are chirping, Sulakshana is singing. It's all just so beautiful. It all comes together. And you will get that feeling of joyousness because you don't allow the other thoughts and other, things which are troubling you to become so big and come in at that time. Like I'm telling you, when I opened the door in the morning, I could see that whole bush of, full of flowers, and they were smelling so beautifully. And I plucked them, and I, like, it's just so beautiful. I plucked them, I kept them for my puja. It was just so wonderful. And it's like when you're plucking the flowers, you're thanking them for the fragrance that they're spreading. You've forgotten about everything else because it's so beautiful. It just takes over. You cannot escape it. It just takes over. There's a question I think somebody has written. Vinita, could you read it for me?
Yeah. I love it. I'm sorry, there's a
Okay, I'll try to read it
getting
out.
hanged.
I could. No worries. Low feelings are self-feeding, while joy is spread to the universe. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Low feelings are nothing but low vibrations, isn't it? It's like feeling victimized. It's like feeling there's no hope, there's nothing to look forward to, or certain things have not happened the way that you want them to happen, or you have those expectations which have not met. But like even, Romila auntie was saying, the progress is there, but it is slow. That is only in our mind, isn't it? Because we expect, okay, now it's not happening. Now I can either be depressed and feel that nothing is happening, I'm not getting well, or I can say, okay, I mean, this is a time for me to just sit back and enjoy and be pampered and, do my Reiki and read what I want to and be, just on my own. And of course, all these active mothers of us, they don't like to be on bed. They want to be like up and about and handling everything in the into this thing. So it's just time for you to take rest, and receive. Let others look after you. Receive fully, and actually allow that to be also a joyous. Allow that also to be a joy. Now that all it requires is to just shift that perception, that thought from your mind. Isn't it? Otherwise, somebody could be feeling, oh, I'm so dependent, I'm so this, I'm so. But no, it's okay. It's time to sit back. It's time to enjoy. It's time to just be on your own and introspect, think, meditate, so many things. But allow it to happen, and just that thing which we call as slow, somebody might find it fast, isn't it? So all these things are just how you are feeling. It totally depends on that. Yes, Manju, you have a question or you want to share something?
No, I was just going to say from my experience, having a very disciplined life, being grateful, starting with prayers in the morning, looking at yourself in the mirror first thing you wake up, giving yourself a smile. These are all very self-affirming ways to generate happiness. And but I think discipline, having a plan for the day, which is you can be a little flexible, but having a plan for the day itself that leads you to some goals also creates happiness. Otherwise, feeling low is like a vortex. You go into it and you keep going deeper and deeper. So I'm just sharing something that I found useful in life.
Absolutely. And it's different for different people. Some people just feel that it's okay, we can't really follow a plan for the day. And that's fine too. And some people feel that, yeah, it's good because then you have the next thing to look forward to and the next thing to look forward to. And life goes on in that way. So it's just so wonderful. I mean, when you just see, even if you don't know a child, like all these videos that are being shared on these reels and, the TikTok, when they have small children who are just laughing, giggling, it just, you can't help. You just see that it's so much of natural joy that comes up, isn't it? So it's just how you can just look at that and start laughing and feeling that joy. And you like to see those, you like to share those, right? Just as, you have a structure, you look at yourself in the mirror, you are that whole image of joy. You don't need anything else. So look at yourself in that way, express self-love, do things for yourself, plan out your day, because then you just sail through that smoothly. If that gives you joy, that's perfect for you. And somebody else may have a different plan, that's perfect for them. So it's really nice. I mean, what you have shared, Manju, I mean, I really respect that, because it definitely is. And you are making that effort to, plan out your day or do things in such a way, even getting up and having that discipline to look into the mirror, look into your eyes, tell yourself, I really love you. That's all that you need to hear, isn't it? And you'll feel that love. But you have to keep your vibrations to some level, because the mind will come in and definitely try to suppress you and put you down, isn't it? And actually, I had thought that I'm not going to do these sessions now for the next nearly 1.5, 2 months, because I'm traveling. But when I got up in the morning and I just looked at this and I said, wow, there's so much of joy. And, we keep thinking that something will happen and we keep postponing this joy that is available to us all the time. And instantly, I just sent a message to Srishti that let's just let's just have this talk on joy, because I was feeling so much joy from inside. And I wanted to share it, with the group, that let's not postpone this joy that is available to us all the time. And I had to literally wake up Srishti and Tanvi at 11:30. Now, come on, make the poster. I know it's a Sunday morning. And I had to literally wake them up, because I was thinking we need to put it out. So it's just like how you feel like sharing. You go to a restaurant, you enjoy the food, you feel like sharing that, you go back, you tell your friends, you must go and try out that, or you watch a good movie and you want to share that. So it's just the same way that when you feel this, you can't help but spread it out. You may not be even speaking, but just your presence will share that joy. It will radiate out of you, and the other person will feel it, because deep inside, they too are just this joy, isn't it? It's their intricate nature also to be joyous, isn't it? So when you are spreading that, when you are in that presence, invariably it will come to you. You cannot escape it. Your mind may be very strong and you may feel, no, I don't feel any joy because I have, I have this issue and that problem. That's a different thing, but you cannot escape it. You just cannot escape it. Always think of a small child. When I think of joy, I always think of a small child just smiling at nothing, laughing at nothing. And we say with the mind, oh, he's thinking of his past life, or, he smiled at me and I did this, or he likes this. But more than half the times, there's nothing that they are specific that they are doing. They're just laughing because they're feeling like laughing, or joyous from inside. Isn't it? So let's get into more natural ways of being joyous and being peaceful and being true to who we are, what we truly are. Simple things. We don't need to do any long meditations or, of course, that's good if you can sit in that kind of a meditation and all. But anything that you feel gives you joy, gives you happiness, you like to do, take out the time to do that. Create that as a discipline, exactly what Manju was sharing. Create that discipline of putting your energy into things that make you feel good. And sometimes in the beginning, it's not easy. It's not easy to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, when you're really feeling horrible about yourself and about your life. We've all gone through these things, haven't we? And there are moments when these things occur again. But all you need to do is to just slightly shift your focus and look, wow, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I have a home, I have food on the table, I have children around me, I have, everything that I need. So if now also I'm not joyous, then what? But I have my children, but they don't respect me, they don't listen to me. Yeah, but that is something different. At least, you have everything going on. Life is going on so beautifully around you. Don't go into the buts, just enjoy that. And all those buts only come because of our expectations, because of our, thoughts of that things should be in a particular way, isn't it? So break those rules also. It's fine. Just keep, like I always say, just keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's been my biggest mantra. And like we follow Muji Baba, he says you don't even need to know for what you are saying thank you. Every breath, if you say thank you, that's also not enough for this life. Just thank you for being alive. Who's keeping you alive? Choose whether you want to live with joy or you want to, just live with looking at all things that you're complaining about or grumbling about or paining about. Those are definitely there. But shift your vibrations. Look at things from a higher perspective. And you will see that there is joy in everything, even the so-called challenges. We've been talking about this lately in our other groups, that all these challenges that come up in life are only pushing us towards our joyous nature, ultimately connecting us to the truth. And that's what we need to reflect on more and more. Yes, I can understand. We feel like Sunita is writing that sometimes we feel jealous. Now, even to say this and to acknowledge this is not easy, isn't it? But these are feelings on emotions which naturally come. We feel jealous, we feel envious. All of us have felt it, isn't it? We feel angry, simple thing like getting angry. We feel hurt, we feel sad. So jealousy has just come up because it is making you feel that way in that particular situation or that particular day. That's not how it is all the time, isn't it? So you don't need to attach yourself to the jealousy. You attach yourself to a bigger emotion, or you attach yourself to just gratitude, or just be silent at that time. If you can't move to the other side of the spectrum, that you can't be joyous, just be silent. Just try to come into a neutral space and the jealousy will go away. Don't give it so much energy. Make a choice. You want to live with jealousy or you want to live with joy. Both are available to you. Don't indulge in that story that is making you feel jealous. It's only a feeling. It's only an emotion. Right now, I'll tell you, okay, bring up all that makes you feel jealous. Feel jealous. You won't be able to feel jealous, isn't it? It's just a passing, fleeting emotion that came up at that time. Don't make it so big in your life, in your head.
And there's a question also that has come. I think so you missed out. In case if we have to live a life of joy and happiness, and the partner is in a complaint mode, then it becomes difficult for us to do so.
Don't give anybody the power to disrupt your joy. Nobody can disrupt your joy. You be joyous. You be joyous. You don't have to wait for somebody else to be okay to give you that joy, or to be somebody to be joyous to be joyous. That's not true. I mean, he's not stopping you from enjoying the things that are giving you joy, isn't it? And I know what you're meaning, and that's what I meant by saying that sometimes circumstances around are not so supportive of, the way we want to live or the way we want to feel. But you can't give anybody that power to disrupt your joy. If he's in a complaining mode, or she's in a complaining mode, It's their choice. Beyond a point, you cannot allow yourself to fall down to that complaining mode and disrupt the energy. You just cannot allow it. Sorry, Vinita, you'll unmute if you need to speak because there was some disturbance. So don't think this is the mind coming up and saying that, you know, he's not joyous or she's complaining all the time. All the time I'm hearing these complaints. Even if I want to be joyous, I can't. That's not true. That's not true. If somebody wants to keep, you know, being in the dark, you still can carry your light and be in that space of light, and the joy cannot stay back, cannot be away from you. So just be there and just fully, you allow yourself to be joyous. You allow yourself to be joyous, and it will be so infectious, believe me, that the other person will get infected with it. 100% the other person will get infected with it. You cannot escape it. You cannot escape it. Now, so many of us come on these talks or the Reiki sessions, and a lot of times when people come, they are either rushed or they are feeling upset about something, or there could be so many issues that are going on in their life. But when you come here, when we just talk, when we just chat and we, you know, approach things with a positive vibration, we all bring in our positive energies here. Don't we all go back feeling healed in some way? I'm not doing any healing. Nobody's doing any healing. Nothing is happening. We're just talking from a high vibrational space. Most of us say, wow, that was so good. I really needed to hear this, or it just made me feel so good. So it's just that we are connecting to that high vibration. So just choose and declare in your mind that I'm going to be joyous, come what may. Nobody can, it's your life. You cannot allow anybody to rule it and suppress it, or, you know, at least in this aspect. Maybe there are other things that they have more control over. You know, you may not be able to sort of live a life that you want to because of financial things or whatever, which could be sort of limited due to the other person's issues. But this is yours. Nobody can stop you from feeling the joy that is there within you. There may be other things that are limited, and that is something that I understand. But this is nothing. There is no excuse. Believe me, you put yourself out. There is absolutely no excuse. You cannot escape that joy. You cannot escape that peace. Let's try it. Why don't we all try it and say, okay, so she's complaining or he's complaining, let them complain. I can say, okay, it's fine. Now you are suffering. It's just like how Sulakshana said, her mind says her body is paining and that, but she breaks through it because she wishes to choose joy. Go out, connect to nature, do things you love to do, sing, dance, listen to music, be silent, read. Take out those few minutes in a day to just enjoy yourself and enjoy life. Get up in the morning thinking that, wow, this is what is, you know, I'm going to go out and do this today, or I'm going to enjoy this. Just know that it's all happening, and it needn't be anything big. It needn't be anything big. I'm telling you, it could be as simple as just looking at a beautiful tree, or listening to silently to a bird, or seeing the peacock dance across your balcony. I see that all the time in the morning. It's so joyous.
Hi, Sujata.
Hi, Manisha.
I have a question. Like sometimes it happens, you know, when I am very happy, this is like I'm just asking for myself. When I am very happy and very joyful, from somewhere a fear creeps into my mind, you know, like I am very happy. Something is something may, happen. Something might be going to happen. And this fear comes, and then suddenly, you know, it is there. It may be for a short period of time, but it is there. So I just want to ask, is it natural, or you know, how to get rid of it, or should I accept it? Ki, okay, fine, theek hai.
Well, I don't think that is true. These are again beliefs that we have been taught. Zyada mat haso, nahi to kuch ho jayega, you know, bura ho jayega, nazar lag jayegi. And
हाँ,
people see, oh, she's so joyous and she's so happy, and they'll be jealous and they'll send negative vibrations. You don't have to believe in all these. You don't have to believe in all these. Now, if you are joyous, you're sitting in a group and you're laughing and you're talking like we are right now, and somebody is miserable, it's nothing will happen. If you have the fear that, yeah, if I'm laughing, then, something bad is going to happen, then you're attracting it because you're believing in that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're believing कि हाँ कुछ बुरा होगा. It's the law of attraction. अब बहुत हंस लिया, now definitely tomorrow morning some bad news is going to come. So you're already inviting that bad news. If you just say that, wow, today was such a wonderful day, now from today, every day is going to be more joyous. You see how much more joy will come in. I'm so thankful for the way I can feel joy in my life now. I have never felt it before. And I know that every day this joy is going to just increase. Nothing can disturb my joy. I may not be feeling it, but I know that it's there. I may not be feeling it 100% today, but I know that it's joy. So if you keep affirming these things in your mind, what can happen? What news has to come will still come. You could be, very low one day and you could receive some bad news or good news, and vice versa. It's not because so many times we receive, some news which is not good or things happen which are not favorable. It's not because we were joyous one day before or 2 days before. These are just beliefs in our mind. I believe the other way totally. If you're full of joy, you're sending out vibrations of joy, you will only attract joy. It's the simple law of attraction. Whatever you focus on expands in your life. That's why we say be in gratitude. Just keep saying shukar, 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 or thank you, thank you, thank you. When you focus on gratitude, the universe says that give her more things to be thankful for, because she's totally in the vibration of gratitude. But if we are joyous and we keep fearing in between, oh my God, then fear comes in because all our focus is on the fear. So universe says fear, that is where she wants to be. Give her things to be fearful for. Just look at it practically. When things have happened which have not been good, they've not happened because you were joyous before that, isn't it? So why are we falling into these conditioned beliefs? And these are the beliefs, these are the limiting beliefs we need to break through, isn't it?
Yeah.
The limiting beliefs that we need to break through. In SRT, I remember a lot of times when people come to me for abundance clearing, I tell them that you have this belief that wealth and prosperity will come only with struggle and hard work. And we've been taught like you have to really work hard to be successful. You have to really work hard to earn money. Okay, you have to work hard, but that needn't be the case. There are people who are not moving a finger and, they are abundant, isn't it? You could say, yeah, it's inherited, it's whatever are the reasons. I'm not even going into that. But everything happens. So if we have that belief, I have to struggle, only then I'll be successful and, I'll earn money. Then that is how life will be. Because you're always looking for the next thing to really put in energy and work hard. I'll work this much and then I'll receive this much. I'll work this much. But if you just start affirming, no, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy my life, and I'm going to be abundant. Nothing is going to block the abundance to flow in my life. The moment you start affirming that, you'll see that that is how life will begin to unfold for you.
Okay.
So don't get caught in these beliefs. Don't get into fear. In fact, pray at that time that, God, I don't want to be in this fear. I just want to be joyous. Nothing can disturb my joy. And remember that, there have been times when things have not been so good, but that does not mean that you were joyous. Ab uske badle mein you're feeling this sadness. That's not true. Let's not limit ourselves by falling into these conditioned thoughts. What has to come has to come. Joy will come, sadness will come, happiness will come, grief will come. It's life happening, isn't it? It is going to come. It is bound to happen. But even in those, when your nature becomes so joyous, even in those things, I mean, you see people going through such big, big challenges without really having, without really making an effort. And some people think, oh my God, now this has happened. How am I going to do? Because they get into fear. You can solve a problem either with fear or with love. I wouldn't say joy maybe, but yeah, you can be more still and joyous because you're used to the high vibrations and you have trust in life that things are being looked after. And then just see how beautifully you are guided, you are protected, and how beautifully joy is showered upon you. So just open yourself to receiving and look around for things that give you joy. You
Thank
yourself
you.
are joy.
Thank you, Sujata. Thank you.
Thank you. You shared last week so beautifully. It was such a joyous sharing, isn't it? Nothing, just going out on my own and doing what I needed to do, which I never had done before. So yeah, break all these limiting beliefs. I'm not going to wait for somebody to take me out and, give me that joy. I'm just going out because joy is everywhere. I'm doing what I'm doing, wanting to do without any restrictions, without any limitations. That's what is joy.
Yeah. True.
True. Absolutely true.
True. Absolutely true.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's affirm that whatever we do, we only have to be joyous. And by being joyous, next day will be even more joyous and even more joyous and even more joyous. Have that belief and see how joy flows into everything that you do. There will be challenges, there will be ups and downs, there will be things which are not going in the way that you had thought or expected them. There will be, pitfalls, you'll fall into them, but it's fine. You'll be able to pick yourself. The universe is supporting you all the time. Don't let anything disrupt your joy, because you are just perfect and lovable the way you are.